Hello everybody, my name is Eric, and today we're going to be looking at one of the most sophisticated sponsor scams I have ever seen. This is the Rainway Cloud Gaming scam. They have done a couple of things that I've never seen any other fake YouTube sponsor do. First of all, they are impersonating a legitimate but defunct company. Rainway is real, it even has a Wikipedia page, but they went out of business in 2019. It was a remote desktop video game streaming service, which I think most of us would call it cloud gaming. And it seems like they were actually bought out by Microsoft to make Xbox Cloud Gaming. So now this is the fake website. Now, first of all, I'm going to play something. As I said, this is something I've never seen before. I've actually, they had a pretty real-looking contract in the email. They had an intro video, and they have, and I'll play it for you, an intro text, or speech, I mean.
Content creator. Michael here.
Now, to me, this does not sound like AI, and the fact that it's got sort of a Russian accent makes me wonder, did the scammers actually record this?
Holding the role of marketing director at Rainway. Great to hear from you, content creator. Thanks for getting back to me so promptly. Well, as you know, cloud gaming is rapidly expanding, and Rainway is at the forefront of this industry. We're looking for influencers like yourself to help us spread the word and engage with our audience in new and innovative ways. Choosing between a pre-roll and a dedicated video depends on your preferences and audience. A pre-roll can be more immersive and engaging for viewers, but a dedicated video can provide more opportunities for creative advertising and showcasing your personal style. I recommend assessing which format best aligns with your goals and content style to make.
That's actually a good explanation of ad campaigns.
The right choice. To kickstart our partnership, you'll need to become a Rainway partner by following the instructions in the email I'll be sending over shortly. Once you've completed that process, we'll finalize our agreement through a contract outlining the terms and conditions of our collaboration. We offer competitive paid based on the size and engagement of your audience. You'll find a detailed pricing guide attached to the email for your reference. As soon as you become a Rainway partner and sign the contract, we'll transfer the agreed-upon payment directly to your bank account within 48 hours.
Now, in order to start the collaboration, this is how they get you. What we need to do to get this massive payout is go to rainwayapp.com, which is actually now redirecting here, and then we want to download the app. So, download, and there's also supposedly a macOS, but that just goes to soon.php, and this is so that either they hope if you have a Windows computer, you might just use that, or if you don't, well, then the scam is over for you. Now we've got a little summary. Now we've got a 100 megabyte MSI installer. Before we test this, I'm just going to tell you about today's real sponsor. This video is sponsored by ThreatLocker, the zero-trust solution that helps protect your organization from threats like deceptive click-fix prompts all the way to sophisticated, targeted spear phishing. Instead of chasing every possible threat, ThreatLocker flips the model. You choose what's allowed, and it blocks everything else without explicit approval. How it works: 3 easy steps. You install ThreatLocker. It'll automatically start in learning mode. You let it learn. It maps the apps, scripts, services, everything you use automatically. So then you can lock it down, switching to protected mode, and everything else is blocked by default. Worried about updates breaking things? Don't be. ThreatLocker maintains an application database, so trusted updates keep working seamlessly. And it doesn't stop at allow or deny. With application-level ring fencing, you can lock applications to specific folders and resources, remove internet access from tools that don't need it, and control exactly how approved software is allowed to behave, with tools like elevation control that can allow software that requires elevation to be used without giving a bunch of users admin privileges. Ready to move from reactive to proactive security? Strengthen your organization's security posture today at threatlocker.com/Eric Parker. Now back to the video. Now let's just try that on VirusTotal. We can also download less MSI, a extractor for MSI files to potentially get some less MSI-erables. Okay, that's actually a clever name. And we can get an idea. Okay, so we can see instantly this is going to be an Electron app, which actually, for what it is, could be real. But let's just run the installer the way God intended for now. So we're going to go Rainway. Small screen doesn't like it, but there's no real red flags. It's fully undetected. It's probably legit. Let's just get this going. We'll wait while Windows configures Rainway. And there it looks, at this point, it still looks legit. You know, this isn't an info stealer that instantly disappears. Let's see what the app looks like. So we do actually need an access code. And if I'm right, at that point, nothing will have happened yet. There is actually a possibility this whole thing is just a purity test, and once I, and we're not going to be able to proceed until I get something else from them. HMPL3, I think that's an, we're going to reboot the VM because it seems like somehow we've hung the whole VM. The password they gave me doesn't work, so either they changed it, I tried because it's got multiple L's in the default font on Gmail. It's impossible to tell if something's an L or an I, so I tried moving that into a different font, but I did type it correctly and it still doesn't work, so we're going to try something else. I'm just installing some node tools so that I can extract the ASAR. If you ever wonder why developers don't like using Windows, it's like this whole process of getting that installed on Windows felt like I was about to fall for a click fix attack. Yeah, it's just painful. Okay, so now we got this extracted. So definitely, this is definitely a Russian operation, which is fairly common to be fair, and I don't have anything against Russia, but let's see now. So it's definitely, it's obfuscated, but actually that's not obfuscated, that's packed, or not, that's mapped, so that actually might be recoverable. And here's the GUI. Okay, now something we noticed while looking at this is this very suspicious URL that appears to be C2. So let there be no doubt, this is an info stealer. So I may have been wrong when I thought that I had to get the password. I'm still going through the obfuscated mess, but it seems like that may have actually been a decoy, so that you would run it, not really realize what happened to this sketchy Microsoft domain, which I'm sure everyone watching this can understand this is not a Microsoft website. One other thing I learned in the middle of this while trying this on an automated sandbox is on some security, this actually won't run on your computer because there's a certificate explicitly revoked. So this, they acquired an EV code signing certificate for the company Quentra Software Limited. Either they compromised Quentra Software, or that's so weird. I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't know if that's related or not, but that is so weird that that exists. The real company doesn't look like it had real activities. Strange. Now, through some miracle, I did some pretty deep reverse engineering. I got some stuff out, but we ultimately figured out that the actual malware is server-side so that, and so is the check. Now, through MITM proxy, I was able to determine this is also server-side. It turns out I had two different scam emails from Rainway with two different codes, and the second one, Partner 30, actually worked. And while nothing actually happens other than the button being grayed out, the first C2 server, which is a fake Microsoft page, now leads to two pieces of malware being downloaded. Program underscore Radan and program underscore steal CCC. STL, actually. Given these don't have any gating on here, we can actually, I'll show you. These come from a different fake domain, ganalyticstool.com/program underscore radan.exe. Oh, I spelled that wrong. That's not going to work. Okay, that one actually was right. And program, now let's upload these. Now to me, STLCCC seems like steal credit card, but I'm open to other interpretations if you need it. So we got these two programs, which are well hidden, which could prevent, like if you ran this on a sandbox without the code, you wouldn't get it. This is a bit smarter. Now let's see. Virus Total has never seen these before, which is incredibly uncommon. So this one is a reverse shell, suspicious PE. This one's got a bunch, and now let's check Radan. Wingo agent. and this is the second piece of malware. And these are both getting reverse shell and some other pretty nasty detections. They also have an invalid signature. Is that another one from this company? Now, I don't know how that was made. It's possible they simply hacked someone, or it's possible that they actually set up a limited company. Now, this one has a bogus signature from Adobe. So no, these are not. The way you do that is you just copy the stub of a PE. I actually don't even know why you do that, because it doesn't help you stay undetected. In fact, it's actually really obvious. Okay, this one actually must be known if it's seeing it as a previous tree auto AI.exe. Interesting. Now, these are both getting similar flags. Wingo. This one's getting a Wingo hit. So maybe they're mirrors? Doesn't seem like there's a lot of... Let's take a look and see if anything's running here that shouldn't be. Because in addition to running, this thing should download the malware. So we don't think that's simply my failed attempt of installing Node, which is painful. Okay. See that? Let's actually just run one of these suspicious EXEs. We get a small screen warning. Seems to either there's something rootkitty going on here, or it's instantly figuring out not to run. I'm just going to throw these on a sandbox and see what that does. I'll also just point out something else I learned while trying to fuzz their C2 to get the downloads. There are other campaigns: WeChat, Zoom, Showdown, Rainway, and DocuSign, because you get an error if you put anything else in the type. So there's other stuff running on this infra. Okay, so we're going to take a quick look in Binary Ninja. I tried a bunch of dynamic stuff. The payloads do automatically terminate themselves, whether you run them as intended or you run them manually. So let's see if we can figure out why that might be. Oh, look, it's my new favorite programming language. It feels like... How long has this... I swear, every video I'm making now involves Go malware. I have nothing against Go as a programming language. It's just funny. Like, I understand why you might want to use Rust, because the disassembly from it is just nonsense. Go isn't quite as bad, and we might be able to get symbols back from this. See if we have main Go. It's always... Okay, now we can actually figure out what's going on. We've got main.init. Let's see. Throw go resim at it. Yeah, actually, I thought I remembered that processor check, because I thought, okay, let's go. But then I try hack it with the debugger. Okay. Get VM video drivers. Okay, so we got main.init, which is this. Let's see where that is. It's not. That's why. Yeah. Okay, but this is actually easy enough to fix, because there's a plugin for Go that actually imports the output of this. Oh, brilliant. I have no doubt this is legit. I'm sorry, this is real. This is real. I should not have said this was malware. I lied. This is legit software. Now that is... So we got get obfuscated shellcode. Okay, we call that. So now we can figure out, given we have all the names here, we can actually figure out which check we're failing, which will make my life a lot easier. So we got main.main. Get rid of these hooks that I put in here. We can get right to work. And now we're actually in the main app. I'm going to get some sort of an XOR. So the first VM check is here. Check video drivers. So I imagine that could be the one we're actually failing. Let's see. Now, if we allow this to run, oh, we hit these two, and the program terminates. Let's take a look at how this actually works. Get VM video drivers is the function that is called, and this will return 0. All of these are set to, so RAX is set to 0, so yes. But it seems like that doesn't actually matter. I'll just check that there's no check of RAX here. So no, RAX seems to get overridden. So in theory, all we have to do is NOP at that, and we should be good to go. Let's run MITM proxy. Actually going to use Binary Ninja to patch that because that's easier. With some luck, that should... Oh, I got to put an EXE on it, of course. Yep. Well, it ran for a bit. Throw this one into the debugger. Now, at that point, it spawns an empty DLL host and attempts to inject into it. So depending on how lucky we are, we should be able to... This should now be what we want. Let's see, all right. So we've allocated the memory in the target. And here is where we will actually write. Now we know this is going to be the return. That last argument's the handle. So the trick here is seeing these two sections that are marked executable, readable, and writable that were not there when the process opened is very suspicious, given we know that this is being injected. So that's where we're going to focus our effort. That's interesting. Now let's also dump the second piece. The reason I like to upload stuff to VirusTotal is you can just quickly figure out, A, has anyone seen this before, and is it interesting? Let's try opening this one in Binary Ninja. See, and here we can see some anti-debug activity here. Process, wow. Okay, you're busted. Of course, we can throw Skylahide onto this so that it doesn't learn that it's living in an analysis environment. So my guess is, while this is marked as executable, I'm not convinced anything in this blob is actually intended to be executed. But what we can do is we can go to these, and we can actually put a read breakpoint. And as I expected, that by putting that there, we're able to, while the shellcode is loaded, get this thing paused in the debugger, which is exactly what I wanted. Yep, my breakpoint worked. Now we can run Skyla again, knowing that that is the entry point. Okay, so there's kind of like a thing. When it's mapped in a private region, you actually can't do that with Skyla. So I dumped these manually, and then we're just going to kind of go through them. Not going to, for now. I will, I'll see if I can upload these on Malware Bazaar so that people can see them. We can get a better look. But for now, we're going to take a look in here and see, all right. So we got pretty much, see if there's anything that looks like valid assembly. Now, to me, this looks like the data section of the shellcode, and then the other one is the runner. Now, the data section might actually be more interesting. So we can see all of these are all kind of clumped together. These could also be anti-analysis. So we've got two weird, well-obfuscated info stealers here. I'd say, I don't want to make an hour-long video, but we can be very confident. This is quite a sophisticated malware attack, more realistic than previous attempts. That got some harder to pull apart malware, and we've got some they put quite a bit of effort into the decoy there, potentially even registering a limited company to get EV certificates. It seems like they're also doing other work from the fact that there were other things named in there. So that is going to be all for me for now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye.